All right, this was impromptu. I didn't know if I wanted to stream it or make an actual video, but I figure I can probably do both if I end up changing my mind. But this stuff's been like kind of heavy on my conscience lately, so I thought it would be nice to maybe put it out there. Um, and not not just for you guys either, but for myself too. I think it'll make me feel a little bit better. Not that I'm like feeling bad, but I just think that this type of thing can help people, and I don't think that enough of the right creators talk about this shit. I think a lot of people that you would assume are going to talk about this type of stuff talk about it, but not the type of people that we watch. You know, we're into scary metal shit and horror movies and yada yada yada. It's time for a shower and sleep soon. Well, I didn't go to bed until about 9 a.m. today. And then I woke up from a nightmare, which I never really happened. So it was real bizarre day. My sleep schedule is going to be real messed up. So let's talk about mental health. Maybe not even mental health. It's just something mental health related. I want to talk about a few things that have been happening in my life, for better or worse. I can't tell. So first of all, I'll go ahead and say I'm depressed. Shocker. I think I have been for quite a while. I think it is a chemical imbalance. I don't think that there's a true reason for it. But I want to let you guys know that I'm not sad. Okay? I'm not sad. I'm depressed. And I think that there's a difference. And I think that being able to separate the two is important. Okay? So I can't speak on anybody's behalf that's in here right now, but I can speak on my behalf. And I've been coming to these like realizations on my own and through various situations that I'm dealing with. And I've always kind of said, like, for a long time that like I'm in between. And I'm sorry if this is going to be like triggering to anybody. I know that there's people out there that can't really handle stuff like this. So I don't need a doctor to tell me I'm depressed. I can guarantee you that I am a very depressed individual. Yeah. So I've said for a long time that I'm between a rock and a hard place in life because I wish that I were never born. But I love my life. So I'm too afraid to, I don't want to say it and get the stream flagged. So I've always been between this, not always, but for a very long time. Like as I came into young adulthood and adulthood, I am like, fuck, man. Like I'm literally just here, right? I guess it's around the time that I started to really understand what death was. I'm put on this planet without permission. That sounds so, what would they say? Millennial of me. I'm put on this planet without permission. I didn't ask to be here. And then I experience all the things, good, bad, great, sad, but a lot of good, man. I've had a really cool life. I'm from the dirt, as Sid would say. Shit wasn't just handed to me. I'm very self-made. I'm very proud of that. But I also just think that I'm a genuinely good person. And I've always tried to be. And maybe that makes me a little naive, which has set me up for failure. But I'm just going to die one day. And like, that's a hard thing to understand. And the more in depth that whole thing goes, the more it's like, okay, how are you so afraid of death that you won't, but you wish you were never born. It doesn't make sense. It gave me a complex. And then more things start to develop. Like I've been dealing with a couple situations lately that are really bothering me. And I'm going to dive pretty deep into one on this because it's just something I want to talk about. And if it gets it off of my chest, maybe I can vent to you guys and it'll help me. And maybe you guys hearing it, it'll help you. Maybe you're dealing with something similar. But the big thing I wanted to talk about at the beginning was the difference between being sad and being depressed. I am depressed. I'm not sad. I love my life. I'm very fortunate and happy and humble to live the life that I live. I've done things that I still can't comprehend to this day. I've befriended heroes, and I mean it, like truly befriended. It's not a clout thing. It's not a bragging thing. It's Sid literally sending, like, I've looked up to this guy and it's not just Sid. Sid's the example because Sid is my homie, and I fucking genuinely love that guy. But it's like, dude, I've looked up to this dude since I was 6. I'm 30. That's a long time. That's a lot of my life, and worshipped him, idolized him, fucking, like, that was my uncle. That was my father figure, and I'm his friend now, man. Like, that's my friend. And like, he fucking, like, when he FaceTimes me and he has Sydney on the phone, he's like, that's Uncle AJ. And it's just a weird thing, man. And I really am so thankful that I have the life that I have. But I'm still depressed, and that doesn't make any sense, right? How do I have all this cool stuff, everything I've ever wanted? I've achieved all these dreams and goals, and I'm still depressed. So that's why I'm chalking it up to depression. I'm separating sadness and depression because I'm not sad. Very happy. I have things in the works that I still can't believe. I've done things that I still can't believe. And exactly, you don't need a reason to be depressed. So what's like the first step is like acceptance. And like, yeah, like we make jokes all the time, like, well, I'm fucking depressed. And I think that's like a coping mechanism. It's really common between me and my friends is to joke about negative things. And that's just how you handle them. And we always said, like my buddy Eli up in Michigan, man, like I've been friends with him for half my life, and he's older than me. So he's somebody that I really looked up to. And he got stage 4 cancer and was still making cancer jokes. He was making the jokes. We weren't making the jokes. He was making the jokes. And so that's how we deal with shit. That's what we do. That's how we cope. But I'm legitimately trying to understand my depression, instead of just like, oh yeah, I'm depressed. I want to understand it. I want to figure it out. I've tried therapy off and on for at least, it's been 10 years. Yeah, for sure. Therapists just don't do it for me. I've seen 3 now, I think. Yeah, 3 or 4, just 3. And I was expecting some sort of like tools to be given to you, try these exercises when you feel like this, yada, yada, or whatever. And I've been, therapy just never did it for me. I've been in terrible relationships. I've tried to understand what those were because obviously I was given a complex with those. I've been called a narcissist and toxic and everything under the sun. And I've really dived deep into those because no matter who it is, if somebody calls you something enough, you're going to start to wonder if it's true. I don't think I'm a narcissist. I've sought the answer to that through professionals. They also agree that I'm not a narcissist, so that feels kind of good. I've come to find out that the people calling me narcissists by definition were narcissists. Imagine that, being gaslit. And I fucking hate these terms because they're so trendy. Like people just read them online and think that they can just throw them out and shit. And that's also why we are where we are with the world. I don't know if you guys keep up with Ronnie Radke. But he's calling a lot of that shit out. Everything from, the narcissist stuff to the fucking all of a sudden in the last fucking 10 years, everybody's a groomer. Everybody's abusive. Everybody's a narcissist. Everybody's racist. Everybody's this, and this. And I don't think that's the case. I think a lot of people are genuinely good people. And trust me, people say really bad shit about me now too. The higher I get, that shit is very true. The bigger that I get, even in the city now, dude, like locals and shit are like turning on me and stuff. So, people also grow. Very true. That's another thing I want to talk about, because you know the Ronnie stuff's been coming up a lot, and like the Alex Terrible thing gets caught up. I've been okay. Yeah, that's a fucking perfect example. People change. The Alex Terrible stuff. I posted one picture with Alex Terrible, and my comments, I don't want to say they were flooded, but there were quite a few comments that were like, "Oh, you support Nazis now." Nope. And I don't think that that guy is a Nazi. And even if he was at one point, which I don't think he was, he's talked about this. He's not shied away from it at all. The whole point in growing and learning from your mistakes is to learn from your mistakes. So why are you so hung up on something that he's talked about openly? Nobody's perfect. And I think his logic makes a lot of sense, because he was, what do you say, he was 14 when that shit was going on. And it was a very like prison yard mentality. He wanted acceptance from somebody, and those guys accepted him. And they, you know, they I don't want to say they took advantage of him, but they accepted him in at a young age, and it was what it was. And he's admitted that that was stupid, and it was a mistake, and it's old, and he's learned from it. And I guarantee anybody out there that meets this dude would think that he is the nicest fucking guy. The weird thing is, people didn't know that I was associated with Alex prior to that picture. It was because the picture got posted. All of a sudden, oh, you support Nazis? Nope. And I don't think Alex Terrible's a Nazi. He didn't look like a Nazi when he was dapping up Tech Nine and making a song with him. So yeah, dude, he doesn't shy away from it. I think we got off topic a little bit there. I don't really remember what I was saying before the Alex thing got started. Can someone remind me? I think Ronnie is, and Alex, for good measure, I just want to go on record and say this. I think they're very important to have right now in this specific time period, for not just for the music industry, just for progression, life. Anyways, whatever. So yeah, dude. Just trying to read these. Oh yeah. We were talking about, you know, the whole narcissist thing and how everybody's labeled as an everything, yada yada yada. So one of the first things I learned about narcissism is that narcissists do not question if they are narcissists or not. And that led me down a rabbit hole of self-help websites and stuff. And then obviously, like I said, I sought professional help. And that was one of the things that I brought up a lot, was like, well, I like get accused of this a lot, you know, yada, yada. And it's the internet too. Those people don't bother me so much, because you know, they're nameless, faceless shit. It's nameless, faceless profiles that are probably jealous or, you know, whatever. So yeah, dipping into that a little bit. I'm proud to say that I have years ago been cleared of being a narcissist. So the next thing I want to talk about is something that has been bothering the shit out of me. And it's another complex that I kind of came to. And within the last month, I'm not going to name any names, but within the last month, I have dealt with so much disappointment from my friends, and I'm not going to even give examples of any sort of detail to the stories, because I don't. It's not the things that happen that's important. It's what I'm taking away from those situations and what I've kind of learned about it that's important. So I went through like 3 back-to-back instances within, you know, 2 weeks probably. My AC came on. It's the first time the AC's been on in a while. I went through all these instances of people that I've been friends with for 15 years, 20 years, disappointing me, like genuinely letting me down by doing things or not doing things that I would do for them in a heartbeat, without hesitation, with no question, no prompt, just to be, just to be a good friend, to be the friend that I would want, you know, like if, you know, that saying about like what people say about you when you leave the room is like what's important and stuff. And I dealt with like these 3 examples from really, really good friends. And it was just like one thing after another. And I was like, am I like, I'm the common denominator? Maybe I'm the problem because I have I have standards that are they too high? And then I'm thinking about the standards and I'm like, if those standards are too high, then my whole perception of friendship, my whole life has been fucked. You know, like I don't want to think that my thoughts on how a friend should be is an issue when I think 10 years ago, these same people would have done exactly what I would have done in the situation, which is the right thing. So it really fucked me up because I was questioning the friendship in a sense of like, you know, if I can't rely on that simple common courtesy or common sense even, and like thoughtfulness or whatever, like, are they my friends? And then I'm also wondering if that AC is messing with the audio, let me know. I can shut it off. I'm also wondering if, fuck, I hate interrupting myself. AC is good? Okay. Yeah, I'm wondering if my expectations are too high or whatever. And then I'm also wondering, like, I had a second point that I can't fucking remember. So I talked to my mom about it, and she actually said some shit that made a lot of sense that I hadn't put it into this perspective of like questioning my friendships, you know, because I'll be my other point was I'm wondering why it took 20 years for this side of these people to show, you know, like why wait 20 years to not be a good friend or whatever. So yeah, it just was like, it was like fucking with my brain. I couldn't figure it out. Like, am I the issue? And if I'm the issue, why am I the issue by expecting things that I wouldn't even question to do for you? So I talked to my mom, and she made a really, really good point that I had not thought of about leveling up. I talked to Bishop about this too, and their 2 points combined really made a lot of sense. My mom said something about leveling up, and Bishop said something about every 20 years, you're a completely different person. And I think technically every 7 years, you are physically, literally a different person because all your cells have like completely whatever. But 20 years, your interests change. And that's not saying that all of your interests will change or that you will be a completely different fucking person or that you'll physically be a different person, like how Chad Gray used to be a human and now he looks like the fucking guy that got infected by the alien in Men in Black. What I'm talking about is you change, you grow, you learn. You're not the same. You know, I'm not the same person I was 5 years ago, let alone 10 years ago. And that made me less angry because what if it isn't their fault? You know, they're not doing the shit on purpose. Because I don't think they are. So it softened the blow a little bit when Bishop said that. My mom said something about leveling up. And I don't mean for this to come off in like a condescending way because it's not. And again, any of the people that I'm referring to in these stories or examples I'm giving, I'm still friends with. I have best fucking friends. Any of them could call me up right now and I would do anything for them. And it's people that I've never even really had fights with or anything. So yeah, it's not like that. They'll be my friends forever, but the friendship and the dynamics change, right? So there have been times in my life where some of these people were still partying when I was apprenticing. And I was never into the party scene anyways, but even if I was working. Some of these people went off and got married, had started a family, and that's totally cool. That's the life that they wanted, and I didn't do that, so we kind of fell off. And there have been times that I've gone and gotten into relationships and lived in a different city, and whatever. So the dynamics change, right, over the years, and that's fine. You have to be understanding of that, and the more that you can adjust your expectations, the better the shit is going to be for you, the better the experience is going to be for you, because I'll put this in a way that you guys can understand. If you're not understanding, I don't know why you wouldn't be, but I think a good metaphor or whatever for that is my thoughts on Slipknot changed after a really good friend of mine told me to stop expecting self-titled and Iowa Slipknot. He's like, that's not who Slipknot is now. If you go into the gray chapter with not expecting Iowa, not expecting self-titled, you're going to enjoy the album a lot more because you're getting something with no expectations and it's a pure ride. You can fully kind of immerse yourself in a new experience with no preconceived negative connotations or anything. And the fucking second he told me that, I was like, holy shit, dude, the gray chapter is good. Like, Slipknot's sick, right? So they've just changed and grown and adapted. So if you can apply that sort of thing to friendships, it'll help. Another thing my mom was talking about was like the whole leveling up aspect. And she was like, listen, she's like, think about what you've done in the last 2 years and the people that you've met and the people that you've become close with, and think about those friendships and how similar the people that you've befriended are to you. She gave Tyler as an example, and she gave Luana as an example, and she gave Sid as an example, and she was right. She was like, maybe that's where your friendships are heading. Maybe those are your new best friends, and all these people work really hard, dude. Luana tours fucking constantly with crypto. She's always doing crypto stuff. Tyler is in Falling in Reverse. That's one of the fucking biggest rock bands on the planet right now. Sid is Sid. I don't have to explain anything about him. So they're always busy, and I'm always fucking busy. All of this is like a one-man band. I do everything. I do all the marketing. I do all the editing. I do all the filming. I do everything, all the merch stuff, and right down to like who I want to do designs. I don't sit there and draw my designs out for merch, but I do pick out who I want to do what, and yada, yada, yada. So I do all the shit by myself, and I'm busy, and I'm cool with that. I love working. Working makes me happy. I love my job, and I love doing this, and I love everything about it and stuff, but I'm fucking busy a lot. And other people are busy too. Even if it's not with stuff like this. I don't have kids. I can't imagine how hard it is to have a family, to raise kids, So my mom was like, maybe those are the kinds of friends you need now. She was like, maybe, Sid is my mentor for sure. I'll never, ever, ever deny the fact that dude is on another fucking level. And I'm so thankful to have him in my life. And he doesn't say, you're going to learn about this. It's always completely organic and natural. And I leave the conversation or the interaction like with some knowledge. But I talk to Sid 3 times a month, sometimes more if we're working on a project. I see Tyler twice a year, Luana twice a year. And she's like, maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. Maybe she's like, you don't have to be around people every single day. You don't have to be around your best friends every single day. These people can still be what it is. You've leveled up. You've changed course. And I don't mean leveling up like I'm so much better than my old friends or something like that. I just mean myself went to a different level. And everybody else is on levels too. So that made me hopeful because I love Tyler. Like that's my fucking dude. Like that's my fucking guy. I've hung out with Tyler in person 3 times. 4 times. Sorry. I don't know. Been friends with him for 2 years. I met him in Columbus, November 2022. had a brief interaction at a show. Met him again at Sonic Temple the next year. Stayed at his house in Vegas for Sick New World earlier this year. And then a few weeks later, we went to Sonic Temple again. He headlined up there, and then he came down and stayed for the week. And dude, we call each other, and it's like we've been best friends for fucking 25 years. I've talked to his girlfriend about it. I sent him a fucking text after I was coming to these realizations because it feels good to get shit out there, man. And also, I just wanted to let him know, like, how much he means to me as a human and as a friend. And he was giving me, I would have questions about shit, how to handle being talked about like this, or someone saying this shit or whatever. And he would fucking call me and he would just give his best advice. And it was never rushing. He's never brushed me off. He's just a really solid dude. So I made sure to send him a big text when I came to this whole realization of all this stuff. And, yeah, it was great. And he reiterated like right back to me. It was awesome. And, it just felt really good. I'd done the same thing to Sid, you know. I sent him, because we went up to Sonic Temple together, and in 2015 or 16, I don't know, I got the memory of me dressed like Sid, self-titled suit, my British civilian duty, mask, and then, you know, now 2024, I'm side stage getting a hug from him in a self-titled suit with a gold British civilian duty mask on before he goes on the stage. And I just said, like, man, you know, almost 10 years ago, I was still dressing up like you to come watch you. And here we are. Like, who would have fucking thought? And I just said, thank you for everything. Like, the dude's changed my life for my entire life, and he's still changing it. He's changing it more now than he ever has before. So, I've said the same shit to Luana. Like, that's something I guess I want to stress to you guys is like, dude, I still fucking give my grandma fucking kisses my head when I leave her house. My grandpa fucking gives me a big hug and a kiss on the head. I tell everybody I love them. No shame with shit like that, dude. Tell my friends I love them. So yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just kind of rambling at this point, but I just want to talk about some of that shit because here lately more than ever, obviously, you know, the channel's getting bigger than ever. I've been hearing a lot of nasty, negative, weird shit. I've been going through growing pains with friends, with enemies, with whatever. I'm really trying to be in my whole like namaste era. I've been meeting more new people than ever before. And it's a lot, dude. And I'm just a person, and I'm not very good at being a person. I think I'm a good person. Might not be a great person, but I'm not very good at being a person. So yeah, dude, I don't know. Somebody asked if it was true that I'm rude to fans if they walk up to you in person. I don't think so at all. I don't think I've ever had a negative interaction, even with people that were extremely weird to me in person. So no, because dude, if people look up to me the way that I look up to people and got brushed off by people, I would hate that. I would hate for them to have that image of me. So yeah. I don't know, man. Just wanted to fucking throw this out there and just talk about some shit. I feel like some of those points were things that I just really wanted to put out in the open. You know, the difference between being sad and being depressed. I think that's important. I think that you should be able to separate those and understand, because there are some people that are just sad. I'm not sad. I'm depressed. I don't have a reason to be, which irritates me even more. And that took a long time to get over too, and to try to understand, because I know my life is great. I love my fucking life. I love the life that I live. Even with all the bad shit that's happened and the bad people that I've come into contact with and been affected by, I love my life. I'm so thankful. But I'm still sad? No. I'm depressed. It's different. I'm not sad. I'm fucking depressed. So that was one of the points I wanted to make. And I want to talk about growing pains too, because dude, people change, and nobody even has to be the bad guy in a situation like that, you know? No one on Reddit has ever met me in real life. And everybody on Reddit, that's just a fucking cesspool. So, yeah, garbage, trash, awful place. Awful place for awful people to say awful things about people that are doing better than them. Sadness when you don't have a reason can be a sign of burnout. I don't know where the burnout is because it's not with work. All I want to do is work. I fucking love work. I get really, I do get sad when I don't have work to do. So Sundays suck for me. And I think that's why I chose today to do this stream, because I fucking hate Sundays. Sundays I don't get mail, which means I'm probably not making a video. You know, the channel's not just an unboxing channel anymore. So mail is a little bit of a hot commodity around here now. So. No one on Reddit has met anyone in real life. You're not wrong. Dude, and that's the thing. People on there fucking say all kinds of weird shit or whatever about anybody, not just about me. Literally anybody that has any sort of platform is going to have someone on there calling them fucking terrible things. And, all of a sudden, everybody's a fucking rapist, and everybody's a racist, and everybody's a thief, and everybody's a this, and everybody's a that. And it's like, another thing I think about is, like, would I keep accumulating all of these great people if I am such a scumbag? And I don't think I would. I don't think that these people would put their necks on the line to be friends with somebody who's a piece of shit. You know? I'd love to visit Ohio in the fall. You should come here in November for Pale Fest. I forgot what day it is, to be honest. Yeah. So yeah, dude, you guys have questions, or should we shut this one down? I'm going to leave it up as a video. I'll leave the stream up. That way it can be played and seen by everybody, because I feel like it's an important message. But I may tighten this down and turn it into an actual video, because again, I don't feel like a lot of people in our genres with our interests talk about this type of stuff. Probably one, because it's seen as weak, and nobody, like, these metal dudes don't want to look weak, but I don't think it's fucking weak. I think it's cool as fuck to identify issues, you know? Kyle, thank you for your super chat. You are a solid human. I too am leveling up. Love to hear it. Thank you. Night shift, Nightshade, man. Thank you. As someone who's been depressed most of his life, it is such an important thing to talk about. Dude, I swear, I feel so much lighter now than I did when I started this, to talk about that shit, to put it out there that, like, I'm kind of glad that the Reddit stuff got brought up. Reddit has left me alone for the most part lately. But yeah, dude, I used to just, like, some people would screenshot shit and send it to me. I'd be like, how fucking awful. And then I almost see Ronnie Radke as like a sign from God, because when I'm starting to, like, feel a certain way about that shit, he'll fucking pop a TikTok up and he's like, like, I don't even know. Here's the thing, man. People are going to say lies about whoever. And so for me, for example, people are going to say I'm fucking mean to my fans and I'm a scumbag and I'm blah, 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 blah. But the people that like me don't believe that, because they like me for a reason. The people that know me, shit, And who is your friend's band touring all the time? Sorry, I don't know. And then the people that hate me are still going to hate me. And something Bishop asked as the channel's gotten bigger and stuff, he's like, is what people say about you on the internet and the lies that people tell about you going to change the way that you feel about yourself? And I was like, no. And he was like, there you go. And I was like, dude, fuck you. That was really cool. So yeah, dude, my mom's not going to hate me. I'm not a fucking weirdo. I'm not a thief. I'm not mean to my fans, whatever they're going to say. And it is what it is. I feel good about the person that I am. I feel good about how I treat people. So Where can I get the black and yellow Billy Strings bandana? That was a limited run. I'm glad I got that one. I kind of wish I'd gotten two because I wore the shit out of that one. I wore the shit out of the matching hat too. Even without having an answer, because I mean, I've dealt with it almost 20, still feel like I'm nowhere close to even getting better, but you talking about being on the same boat. Yeah, dude, something I was thinking about today. I actually said it out loud. Well, through a text late last night or early this morning. Was like, shit's only getting better for me in my life. And I would never go back to a certain point physically or like literally. But at the same time, I wish I was as happy as I was this time last year, you know? And then that version of me from last year wishes I was as happy as I was 5 years before that. And then the 5 years before that guy wishes that he was as happy as I was when I was a teenager. And I want to get to a point where I'm solid, you know? I think I missed a super chat. Jake plays. I hope I can meet you in person one day. Sorry for the previous comment. I don't use Reddit regularly. I just check it from time to time. Hey, dude. From what I understand, there are Reddits that are very helpful. And I will tell you from like a Slipknot standpoint, I know that a lot of those people solve a lot of shit and that's cool and stuff. But yeah, I just think when it comes to like being a human on the internet, it's a super toxic place. But thank you for your super chat. I hope that you can meet me in person too. Palefest. Does it say metal? I thought it said mental health. Did I type that wrong? Let's see. Robert, thank you for your super chat. He says you're a good dude. Trolls hate themselves. No doubt. No doubt. I've been dealing with a in-person troll lately, and it came to a head in real life in front of a very large group of people here in town. And the delusion was real, and the projection was real, and it was actually very scary to see in front of my face. And I ended up not being mad at this guy. I ended up just feeling really bad about it. And dude, I've watched mental illness fucking change so many people that I love to people that are like literally physically unrecognizable. And it's fucking terrifying. So, yeah. Let's see. Jim Root said in an interview, the internet is brutal. You can read one negative comment and it will ruin your day. Absolutely. He's 100% right. Bumble Fritz says it's always easy to look at the past with nostalgia or rose-colored glasses. Sometimes it's hard to appreciate the now. Problems are always there. It's not always easy to be happy in the moment. Dude, you ain't lying. Because what did we all want when we were 10? We wanted to be 15. And what did we want when we were 15? We wanted to be 18, to go out and do whatever we wanted. And then when we were 18, we're like, fuck, I wish I was 25 so I could be established and have this, this, and this. And then you hit 25 and you're like, fuck, dude, wish I was 18 again. And then, God, when you're 30, you're like, can I be anything other than 30? I've known you for years. We are around the same age. Immensely proud of what you do and love running into you at concerts. Absolutely, dude. AJ gives the best hugs too. Palefest 3D. Got to start charging for those hugs. No, I'm just kidding. Please come to Brazil. I will. To Brazil, I will. Not a fan of Ronnie's music, but I'm a fan of his. He seems like a good guy. Dude, I feel it. And I can vouch for the fact that I think he is a legitimately good guy. I've seen him. It bothers me that people talk so much shit about him because I feel like I relate to him super hard. And You know, like he never cool guyed me. Never made me feel like less of like I'm just some dorky kid coming up there to hang out with Tyler who has like masks in his backpack. And dude, Ronnie just treats me like a dude. And I've seen him interact with other people under shitty circumstances and still be nice. When all that, I don't know if you guys saw with like the Sonic Temple pyro incident where the flames were like burning those guys. You'd think like having to restart a song 3 times and getting burnt on stage and shit would like he could come off that stage being fucking furious and taking it out on fucking anybody. And I saw him walk off stage with a stagehand. And as they walked in front of me, he was like, you know, the stagehand's like apologizing and shit, trying to make sure everything's good. And Ronnie's like, dude, he's like, it's showbiz, man. Shit happens. Like literally just like that. And I was like, wow, fuck yeah. Like, so I don't have bad shit to say about the guy. You changed my life, man. Dead ass. I found myself through you. It's good to hear, man. I hope one day I can look back on all the comments and stuff I get like that and really fully grasp it, because I can't right now, you know. I want to come to Palefest this year. Expect to get one of your famous hugs. I didn't even know my hugs were famous. I've known Nightshade for so long, you know, through the internet, but not through real life. And he's been a massive supporter the whole time. So the second I saw him, I just got really excited and I fucking gave him a big hug. Psychedelic therapy for depression. I've always think about trying it. I'm so scared of drugs and shit, man. I'm so scared of not having my actual state of mind or whatever, like an altered state of mind. Celeste, thank you for your super chat. I gotta go. I don't have any answers. I just think it's cool to show up for each other like this. Thanks for creating a good space. Absolutely. I appreciate you being here, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, night. Boa noite. Boa tarde. Yeah, just flexing some of my Portuguese there. Drugs are bad. I think medicinal drugs can be very beneficial to people. And I've seen marijuana work wonders on people. I just am not personally interested in trying it for myself. Booze too. Booze are bad. There is actually no upside to booze. So, been your fan back when it was just the room of masks, keeping you and never give in to the depression. These fucking dude, they're in like gnats now that it's hot out that are like coming through the door or something. I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's driving me nuts. Fancy Portuguese, bit Brazilian, but good. Yeah, well, that's because I'm trying to learn Brazilian Portuguese. I don't really want to learn normal Portuguese because I only want to go to Brazil. Good Portuguese, you gringo. Hell yeah, brother. Nightly walks are nice, and I might have to go take one here soon. So, Chris Cunningham, we share the same birthday, I think. July 30th. Was curious if you've ever heard of the band Psycho Toaster. First of all, hell yeah, we share birthdays. July 30th is the coolest day ever. Thank you for your super chat as well. And also, no, I can honestly say I've never heard of Psycho Toaster. Yeah, I know Estevam and Luana. You are great. You know them? Those are my 2 favorite people. And Jessica. Hey, AJ, it's Grayson. I wanted you to know that that I've been in a horrible spot in my life for about a year, and your channel has helped me so fucking much. Thanks for everything you've done for everyone. Well, I'm glad that I could be there for you. And if I could tell you one thing, because I know that it's not just going to go away like that, it's the same thing I tell myself when I get a little worried. And that's everything cool that has happened, especially lately, but everything cool that happens in my life happens in the blink of an eye. So something And it's usually when I'm down the most. Something could happen tomorrow that changes my whole life for the better. And I always try to tell people that, like, it's worth sticking around to find out, you know, like, you don't know where you'll be tomorrow. You don't know where you'll be in a month. You don't know where you'll be in a year. And usually when that shit happens, it makes it all seem like there was never even a negative. So it's worth it to find out. I see myself in you. Thank you for speaking out about depression. Doesn't get spoken about enough. I appreciate you a lot. Look after yourself. Keep fighting. You got this. Thank you. Dude, man, talking about Sid earlier was like the closest I think I've ever been to crying on camera. That was weird, huh? On a positive note, meet you at the Guar Mudvayne. Oh, met you at the Guar Mudvayne show. It's your favorite venue, Blossom. You're an awesome person. Wanted to say your videos helped me through 4 months of being out with the slip disc. Hell yeah, dude. And fuck Blossom. You mean you met me in person and I'm not a fucking prick? That's weird. Nightshade, another super chat. Thank you, man. I really appreciate those. You helped motivate me after almost calling it a day permanently. You've been an inspiration, and I'm glad I'm still here, because even though I'm still depressed, I've been doing a lot of cool things I never thought was possible. Well, I'm glad you're still here too. And now that you finally came to Pale Fest, I look forward to that tradition, always seeing you at Pale Fest. Would you classify yourself as straight edge? I don't know, because I still to this day do not fully know what it means, like what they represent entirely. All I can say is that I am very anti-drug and very anti-alcohol, but I'm also like anti-porn, stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't know if straight edge should covers that too or what. So I all I can say is that I stand for what I stand for, and I stand against what I stand against. So I walk on the edge every day. It's ass. Remember to maintain hobbies, y'all. Stay busy with things you actually enjoy. Very true. And I hope that you get a little further away from that edge. All right, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and shut this one down. I hope this was as therapeutic for you as it was for me. And maybe we'll have to do like a once a month mental health checkup. We can be each other's fucking counselors, dude. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate all the good words. Like I've said before, I might not be a great person, but I think I'm not a bad one. And you guys are real. So, yeah. Oh, I'll shut it down. All right, guys. Thank you again. I appreciate all you guys, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your night or day. Boa noite or boa tarde. Bye forever. But not forever. Not really. That's just a joke. Sorry. Bad place to make that joke. Sorry.